Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be spending some time on the EM Test VDS 200Q10 4-quadrant programmable battery simulator, commonly used for ISO 7637-2 pulses 2B and 4. We'll start the video by going over a little bit about the unit, then we'll move to the front and the back, and then finally we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the Iso.control software. The model we're using for today's video, the VDS 200Q10.1, is designed as a programmable battery simulator to replicate a variety of complex power distortions. This source is able to provide up to 600 watts of power with a maximum of 60 volts, 10 amps. The VDS 200Q10 is an ideal solution for both international and manufacturer testing requirements, offering many pre-programmed routines via the Iso.control software. This 4-quadrant source can source and sync current using pre-programmed voltage in both polarities. It also provides a bandwidth of up to 180 kHz and typical rise times less than 10 microseconds. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the front of the VDS 200Q10. Here's the front of the VDS 200Q10. Let's go ahead and let's start from the left corner and let's work our way right. In the upper left we have the display. Just below the display we have a series of function keys, and then below that we have our yellow test on button. Looking to the right of the display, we have our turnstile. Below that, we have our cursor keys as well as the exit and escape buttons. Next to that, we have the B and C trigger connection. Finally, all the way on the right, we have our test supply connections. Let's go ahead now and let's get the unit turned around and take a look at the back of the system. All right, here's the back of the VDS 200Q10. Let's go ahead and let's start from the upper left corner again and let's work our way right. There we have the test supply output, which is going to be going to the device under test. Next to that we have our cooling grid. Below that we have our reference ground connection. As we work our way right, we have the analog input, trigger input, frame bus in and frame bus out. Continuing right, we have our fuses, main switch, and our mains input. Finally, all the way on the right, we have a series of communication connections as well as the fail 1 and fail 2 connections. For additional information on the connections on the front and back, go ahead and reference the user manual, which I'll put a link in the description below for. To get the system operational, the interlock needs to be plugged in to the frame bus out. We're also going to be connecting our computer with the USB connection. Let's go ahead now and let's get the system turned on and let's take a look at the software. Here's the Iso.control software, which is used to control the VDS 200Q10. Taking a look at the top, we have Setup, Standards, Extras, and Help. Let's go ahead now and let's click on Setup. And let's go down to Device. Here is our General Setup menu, and you can see we're in the Devices tab now. This General Setup menu is going to be particularly important if you're integrating multiple pieces of EM Test equipment. You can see right now we have our VDS 200Q10 selected. You can see it's connected with COM port 6, and then we have some software and firmware information. Taking a look at the bottom half of the menu, we have some additional information about the device, including the software information, serial number, and our license. Let's go ahead now and let's go back to our main menu. And then when you do go through this, and if you have any issues, you can go ahead and click on Help. And then second from the bottom there, you can see the Open Manuals option. Let's go ahead now and let's take a little closer look at our menu here. We have our devices on the left, and you can see we have the VDS 200Q10.1, and then we have our pulses on the right. Taking a look below the drop downs at the top, we have standard mode and device mode. The standard mode is based off set requirements, and the device mode shows all the possible test pulses. You can see we are currently in device mode. On the left, we have our devices, which shows the VDS 200Q10.1, and then on the right, we have the pulses. If you'd like to select a particular pulse or a particular test, go ahead and just select that. Let's go ahead and let's select voltage profile. Here you'll see our voltage profile menu, which is just our pulse overview. Along the left side, we have the different testing criteria, and then towards the right, we have a graphic display. You can see you can change the different values by clicking on them, and then you can just go ahead and enter the different criteria that you want to change. When you're done and you want to save your test, go ahead in the upper left-hand corner and hit save. All right, now let's go ahead and let's go back to the main menu and let's take a little closer look at ISO 7637-2. All right, here is our standard mode menu, and you can see along the top we do have the standard indicated in the green box, which is ISO 7637-2. On the left we have our application, and you can see we have both 12 volt and 24 volt options there. And then on the right we have a series of pulses. You can see right now we have pulses 1, 2A, 3A, as well as 3B are grayed out. The Iso.control software is only going to allow you to run pulses that can be achieved with the active equipment. You can see right there, we do have pulse 2B as being active. Now, when you do want to load different standards, go ahead and go to the standard tests at the top of the screen there and click on that. And that's going to take you to the standard selection menu. You can see right now we have ISO 7637-2 selected. Let's go ahead now and click OK. And let's go ahead and let's open up Pulse 2B. All right, here's the menu for Pulse 2B. Just as before, we have some different testing criteria on the left. We have a graphic representation of the waveform in the center, and then we have the associated test levels on the right. Just below that, we have our start, stop, and break. So taking a look right now, we do have test level 2 selected, and you can see some of the different criteria on the left is grayed out. However, if you do want to change some of those values, go ahead and click special, and then you'll be able to modify those different parameters as well. When you are ready to conduct testing, all you have to do is go ahead and hit that start button. That should complete the video today on the VDS 200Q10.1. We began the video by walking through a little bit about the unit. We spent some time on the connections on the front and the back. And then finally, we walked through a little bit about the Iso.control software and how to use it to conduct testing for ISO 7637-2. We hope this video has been useful, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent the VDS 200Q10.1.